Streaming 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
Good evening to our beautiful listeners and viewers everywhere. The show is called The African Experience with myself, AVENTINA MABUNDA, your host today. My co-host is traveling the world, as you know, and she'll be back in no time. Today, we promise you yet another beautiful show talking about our beautiful Africa and its people. And we are talking about Africa at work today. And my guest is a beautiful guest who will be talking to you shortly. This is none other than Miss Nsovo, Charmaine Mthombeni, who will be chatting to us about APRONS by Charmaine. Hello, and welcome to our show, Miss Charmaine.
Good evening, and thank you so very much for having me.
Yes, so today, when we approached you, we saw the beautiful work that you're doing, and you'll tell our listeners and our viewers at home about your passion and what you do. So now, introduce yourself for those who don't know you. Tell them, who is Charmaine Nsovo Mthombeni and what is it that you do?
Thank you so much again. As you said, my name is Nsovo Charmaine Mthombeni. I'm 28 years old. I was born in 1995 previously, and from a family of 4, I'm the second born. I'm a civil engineer by profession, and I'm a businesswoman on the other hand. So basically, that is who Charmaine is, and yeah.
Wow, a civil engineer by profession and a businesswoman. Please tell us about that. I love telling stories. Hey, so to me, it sounds like there's a story there. Tell us about you being a civil engineer, and now we are talking APRONS by Charmaine. What is the story
there? The story is quite nice, I should say. I did my civil engineering diploma in Pretoria, and I finished in 2016. And the very same year when I finished my diploma, I had to go back home and start job hunting. I had to do my in-service first, 18 months. And during that time, I couldn't find the in-service immediately after leaving school. And fortunate by God's grace, I love calling it a godly idea. I'm someone who used to help my mom back in the days when she would be sewing, and I'll be always around her machine. So it came about that she knew that I'm one person who loves taking pieces and putting them together, piece of material. It happened that she gave me a piece of cloth, a fabric material, and I think it was 3 meters or so. And from that material, of all the things that I could do, the only idea that came was an apron. And from that material, I made 3 aprons, one for me, for myself, and one for my sister, and one for my mom. And I remember I had put on my apron, and I went to my neighbor. She was like, "Where did you get this? I would love to have something like this." I was like, "I made it myself." She was like, "No, I want something like this as well." And then I'm like, "But then you can't want something that is already mine." She's like, "You have to sew like something similar to that." I was like, "Okay, I'll sew one for you." And I just took it like that. And there was an event at church. And when I went to church, a lady approached me. She was like, "Where did you get this? Please, I want it. I want to buy the same apron that you're putting on." I was like, "No, I made it myself." She was like, "No, you have to sew it for me as well." And that is where it came about that APRONS by Charmaine started. I sew an apron for the people who requested. And it was quite funny because I didn't even know pricing. It was not an idea that I was like, okay, now I want to sell aprons initially. And my grandma said, no, I want an apron as well. I want to tell people that my grandchild now makes apron. I'm like, but I don't make aprons. I just suit for you guys. And my mom was one person who kept on pursuing that, no, you have to go on and continue and make aprons because people love them. And from there, while still job hunting, I went to town the other day, and when I got to town, I saw a beautiful pink material. And the only thing that came was like, that could be an apron as well. I can make an apron and then put a tsonga material, the yellow one, because there's pink flowers on the tsonga yellow material. And I made that and I just put it on my status, and people loved it, and everyone just wanted to have the apron. And that is where Aprons by Charmaine basically started.
Oh, wow. What an inspirational story. If I hear you correctly, you started civil engineering, came back, and you didn't get the internship that you were hoping to get. But guess what? You didn't sit on your laurels. You're like, no, there's a godly idea. I like that idea of a godly idea. And I hope other youth can, can think about opportunities in that fashion. Most of the time, when we come back from whatever we had studied in school, and then but not straight, give up and get tired. This is our inspiration and thinking, this is against us, and not think about godly ideas like you put them. Now you have seen your mother gave meters of material. When did it occur to you that I might be having something there? And when did you register the business?
From that moment, I had not registered my business as yet. I went on to sue Aprons, and remember, I didn't even have background of managing a business, financial intelligence to manage a business. But by God's grace, as it went on, I had to register my business with CIPC. And before I could even register my business with CIPC, I'm someone who is very strict financially. So I was saving, but remember, I didn't even know that you charge my charging was like 180, 120. That was the pricing that I used to do. From the 120, I think I'd spend a whole 100 rand on what I was doing, because I didn't measure properly. I didn't know that I must leave material. 1 meter cannot do like certain aprons. It's supposed to do a certain apron. And also traveling to town, I'd go to town on almost every 2 days in a week to go and buy material. And now it had to ring in me that no, something is not right. I'm getting clients, but my things are not in order. And from there, I started saving more, while the other things were still sketchy. And I went to register my company with CIPC first. And then thereafter, I went to Cape Town. During this very same time, I took my machine. I went down to Cape Town and I registered for advanced sewing, so I can have my skills better and know how to manage my things. And I also registered project management, so I could know how to run this very same project that I had started, which is a business.
Wow, that's a beautiful story. I like that, once you have identified your talent, you didn't let it end there. You went ahead and studied to become a businesswoman. And it shows now with the type of work that you are doing there that it's not only passion speaking, your passion is backed up by studying. So
Yeah.
when you started your business, now registered with CIPC, surely there's a bit of challenges. As we know, starting a business or being an entrepreneur can be challenging, and it's not really for the faint-hearted.
Yeah.
What sort of challenges did you come across, and how did you overcome those?
Uh, I'll say every bit different, and every business occur its own challenges. With Aprons by Charmaine, the few challenges that occurred was obviously financial. Financially, we couldn't get sponsors, we couldn't get training, we couldn't get much from that. That is where it was just godly that I was able to save almost a good percentage from the money that I was making. And then from there is when I had, you know what, it can't be my profit first, but I just have to conquer on those small aspects where I'm struggling. So the challenges were there, but I wouldn't say they were much, because I had to understand that my business is different, and the things that I wanted for my business, I just couldn't have to depend on the government is going to sponsor us, the government is going to give us everything, because that is also time consuming. While it's time consuming, I'm getting more orders. So from the few challenges of not having funding, the only thing that I had to do was to make sure that I save. And also the few challenges that I might say I also acquired was not knowing, and I overcame that by asking. I would say that asking is the way to go, because when you don't know something, you should ask from those who are able, those who are doing it, those who are getting better at it. So we had to ask, how can I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? How can I get it better? How can I get it right? And then from there, it just became better and easily accessible for us to have funding, to have sponsors, and all the likes.
Okay. Wow. I'm really getting inspired, and I'm hoping that our youth out there are listening. If one thing does not work, if your studies do not work out the way you want them to, there's always a godly idea waiting. You just need to identify what that godly idea is, get your skills behind that, ask questions, and get going. We are going to go on a short ad break. And then when we come back, we will know more. I hear you talking about God in all your references. I would want you to tell us, how much of a role does God play in your business and in your life in general? Let's go for an ad break and then we'll come back shortly. Welcome back to the show. The show is African Experience with myself, Mandla Aventina Mabunda. Today we are talking to Charmaine, Miss Charmaine Nsovo Mthombeni. And I'm sure our listeners can see the pictures that we are showing, the background. Miss Charmaine, please take us through some of these pictures that we are seeing. If you can take us through some of the pictures, what was happening, and how did you get the client, and what was the brief? So take us through a standard project.
All right, thank you so much. I see my beautiful clients. I'm one person who's obsessed with my clients, uh, and I'm obsessed with my work. That is why I make sure that when an apron leaves our space and gets to the client's hands, they should have the same smile that I have before it leaves. Um, So our clients, most of my clients, I've realized that they get me on Instagram. Our Instagram page is the one that is most active, and the others are coming just fine as well. So usually what happens is that I'll post my work on Instagram, and people would love our work and they contact us. And from the contacting, we have a small way that we use the consultation process. So you contact us and you choose the apron that you want. And then after choosing the apron that you want, you tell us when you want it and you tell us how many aprons you want. And we prepare an invoice for you. And then you pay 50%. And that is when we start your work. And we work on a 7 to 14 days process. And after that or before then, depending on the number of aprons you want, and then you come and collect. We also let you know of our terms and conditions. It's very important in a business that your clients should know your terms and conditions. They should know how you work, because people are not the same. Some clients panic a lot. After paying, they'll be calling you, have you started our work? Are you done as yet? And you find that it's only day two after they pay payment. And then someone will be relaxed all the way. I mostly have clients who are relaxed. They just leave everything to me. Some would even go as far as, no, Charmaine, just do anything that you think would work. We trust you. We know that you're going to make something that is going to be beautiful for us. So with that, we would try by all means, even when a client, we can see that a client is too pressing and it's only day two, we would try by all means to let them know that they should relax. We're not going to scam them, because you have to understand that some people have been scammed previously. So with that experience, you just can't say, no, I'm not the same, just like that. But you have to make them understand that, you know what, relax, you'll have your order not so long. In the time that we gave you. If it's just an order, I know that I can take a day or two, and then you'll get your order the following day. So it came about that most of my clients, it's people are getting married, and they mostly we call them tishangwani, makotina tishangwani, and they order in that manner where you find that in most cases the bride is wearing the white apron or a different apron from the bride's, and in that manner they cut costs from the bridesmaids having to wear either a dress or what, because in most cases it's lobola day where the clients are putting on the aprons.
Oh wow! I must say, when one goes through your pictures, you get motivated. Like, oh, I wish I could get married because they are just so beautiful. They are just stunning, and your bride and her entourage, they look happy in them. So you know what? It's beautiful work that you're doing. Before we went on an ad break, I noticed that whenever you always mention God, from the godly ideas to godly interventions, God, how much role does God play in your life as a person and in Aprons by Charmaine?
God plays 100%. He's 100% in my life. I've seen God. I know God, and yeah, I'm one of those God's favorite child. I believe I'm God's favorite child. Um, when in the process of me having now to get into the aprons business, during COVID, when people were losing their jobs, God granted me a job. That is when I had to now go and do my practicals during COVID. It was so amazing that people are losing their jobs and now you just got a job. I was like, God, what is this? And it was more blessing and more blessings. Now I had to manage my business and going to work. It's new. It's a work that I've never been into that industry. Now I have to go to site. I come back home. I'm tired. I have orders, but by God's grace, I was still working alone by then. I managed to do it all together. And it came a time the project that I was doing came to an end, and during that time now I was like, yo, I'm frustrated. The business plus the salary is going to be cut off. How am I going to survive and all the likes? But then God just kept on being God. That is why I call this business a godly business, a godly idea, because even after the business never shrinked, but it grew. Even during COVID, I remember I was so scared. It's COVID. People are not going to be ordering aprons. And now this is my business that I used to survive. But then even during COVID, I think that is when we bought our second machine. We bought our second sewing machine during COVID. And we just kept on seeing God's grace upon our business. And after then, we left Polokwane. We're still based in Polokwane. We left Polokwane for Pretoria. When we left Polokwane for Pretoria, we were able to get an industrial machine when we got to Pretoria, which was the bigger orders are now going to be done quick, fast, and in a hurry. And when I was still thinking, oh my God, God, this is so nice. He was like, no, you're not yet done, Charmaine. This business is growing. Few challenges came, and how did you overcome that? It can only be God. And from there, we still grew and grew. And God was like, no, you're not done with the industrial machine, but He made it possible that I don't outsource people who are going to be printing for me anymore. I have to print by myself, and we're able to buy printing machines. And it just kept on being grace and grace. That is why I call it grace. My name is Nsovo, and it means grace. So I call it grace because it can only be God. It just can only be God.
Oh, I like your strong faith. You know, now we have a lot of challenges with youth giving up very easy when they are faced with challenges, especially of unemployment. I mean, our unemployment rates are at an all-time high, and it's not only in South Africa, by the way, it's just globally, and Africa in particular. So I like your positive outlook, and I'm hoping that we are talking to someone out there, a youth out there who is thinking that no, Mina, my things are not going very well. I might as well give up. This thing is not for me. Some of them are now changing into something that they were not brought up to be. They are turning into drugs, alcohol, all sorts of things. But I like how you turned something that could have destroyed you into something positive, and you strengthened your faith. So I'm hoping that we are inspiring a youth out there who is close to giving up, and by hearing your story, they are going to go and sit down and identify their own godly idea, and they will follow through with the skills that are required for them to execute that idea, and there will be a success like you are now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping that you are listening and you're getting as much inspiration from Miss Charmaine as I am. Now, tell us, once you have that and beautiful, now you have your machines, your industrial machines, you even had to move from Polokwane to Pretoria for greener pastures. How do you reach your clients? How do you make sure that your marketing is actually reaching all the people that you want them to reach? I know you mentioned a bit about your Instagram page. Besides that, is there a website? Is it word of mouth? Do you send out flyers? Because tell you what, you can have a beautiful product. If people don't know about your product, it will remain only that, a beautiful product. And I know marketing is a challenge for most SMMEs because really budget for marketing is not really there. So how do you do it? You seem to have developed a plan around marketing your business. How do you make sure that everyone gets to know about APRONS?
So with the marketing strategies and making sure that we reach almost people who don't even know us, and we use, yes, Instagram, which I've said previously that it became a strong holding arm for us. And we made sure that we ask, like I've said, when you don't know something, when you see other people doing it better, you see their likes are getting better on social media, you go and ask, how do you do this thing? So we ended up hiring someone, paying someone to do a website for us, which is up and running right now. And besides website, Instagram, besides social media as a whole, I attended markets. I would make sure that I attend markets like nobody's business. And we people, black people, sorry to say this, we take it markets are a white people kind of thing. And that is where I would go to say, you know what, Aprons by Charmaine is going to the market with my Tsonga, Sipedi, vendor aprons. And also the so-called white people, they would love my aprons. Even us black people would love the aprons that people say, but that looks white and all that. But attending markets also became a very stronghold for us. So I'd say that you go all out as possible as you can. I also print out flyers. I make sure that wherever I go, I have them with me. If I'm driving, I make sure that my flyers are right next to me. And also branding, make sure that if you're someone who has a car, you're driving, make sure that your car is branded with your flyers, with everything. Put your logos on, you put your stickers on, you make it possible that people get to ask, what is that, what is it that you're doing? So I make sure that I have my flyers with me, I have my business cards with me. You start with something so small which doesn't have to necessarily cost you a lot. So investing in your business will make you to go far. Investing in your business will make someone to see, but there's something about this thing, there's just something different. And that is how we keep on reaching other people.
Oh, wow. I know it seems like you have your story in order, my dear, because I mean, you are just telling us your story of how you're doing it, and it seems like there's a plan in place, and you're taking it each step, and you're growing. And you know what? This is only the beginning. I hope you grow even beyond what your eyes can see, what your mind can even perceive, because what you're doing is very good and it's inspiring other youngsters out there. Tell me, when we continue on the story of marketing, are you registered with any government entity like your CEDAs, your NEFs, all those agencies that seek to boost um, SMMEs? Are you part of those? And hang on before you answer. We are going to go on an ad break and think about this government and the role it can do to support SMMEs, and if there's any agencies that you are part of. So when we come back on an ad break, we will continue on that note.
All right.
Welcome back. Welcome back. The show is African Experience with myself, Mandla Aventina Wakamabunda. I'm talking with my beautiful, beautiful guest today. Her name is Miss Charmaine Mthombeni. She's the founder and MD of APRONS by Charmaine. I'm sure our audience is seeing and they are watching the beautiful pictures that are the works of Miss Charmaine. So before we went on an ad break, we were still talking about the role of government in support of SMMEs. Are you part of any government agencies, and what is it that you get if you are part of those agencies?
We have registered our company with the She Trade as well. We try to register with She Trade. Fortunate or unfortunate enough, their website is still down for now. But before it even went down, we were able to get. I did financial management course with them, which is for free. So it comes very nicely, and it can be very helpful for small businesses. So I'd also encourage the youth or someone who has a business that you can register with She Trades. You can register with CEDA. They do help a lot. You just need to put your things in order. You do all the requirements which they would require from you, and then you submit. And then by God's grace, you shall get something, and they shall help with whatever they can be able to help with. But so far from us, we just have the financial management course that we did from them, the certificate, and nothing much.
Okay. That is so nice to know. So the youth, anyone aspiring to become a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, businessman, they need to know that we do have these government agencies that can assist. It might take a while navigating, our government and the way the circle turns there. But if you persevere, there's your CEDAs, the She Trades, like she has mentioned, your IDCs, your NEF. They do have beautiful, beautiful programs that will set you in your journey. And as even now, if we listen to Miss Charmaine's story, you can see that there is order. And that is what you need when you are embarking on being an entrepreneur. You need to have some order of some sort so that you can follow through with your plans. So, on that note, tell us what is your most or what is your best achievement so far as APRONS by Charmaine?
Okay, the most. I don't know. All of them seem like they're the most, but we're able to
You
hire
can tell us
people.
3 or 4. It's up to you.
So okay, by as Aprons by Charmaine, we're able to hire 3 people who are full time, and one is part time. She comes when we have huge orders, and yeah, we hired people. It was something great that I never saw it coming, that one day I'll be an employer. So it's such an amazing thing that happened to us, and the fact that we're able to buy machines, it's one of the things which, when I started with my small nice machine and came the second one, I was like, yeah, I'm here, this is me, I'm sewing aprons from this. But then God was just like, no, this is not where you're going. And it's still a moment which, when I think about, I'm like, wow, so God just gave me this. I was able to go to that shop, and I was like, industrial machine, ngihamba nawe. And then from there, we just kept on buying better machines, better for our business. So those are the highlights that I can give for now, because the other one, yeah, is still on the way. We are opening our first shop. I think I should just say it. We're opening our first shop very soon, in a month. So we're gonna have our first shop, and yeah, those are the highlights that I can say for now.
Oh my goodness, please, can we get an invite? We need to be there as African Experience
Oh
to
yeah.
come and rejoice with you on the shop opening. So guys, I am inspired, and I hope we are talking to a youth, someone out there who's as much inspired as I am. I see some of the people are saying, wow, beautiful job. We are getting inspired. So you know what? In a small way that you can always shout out to black businesses. Let's go out and support each other. Let's allow godly ideas like this one here, Aprons by Charmaine, to flourish. Because if we don't, we have ourselves to blame if our youth are not working, are not inspired, and some are turning to crime, some are turning to prostitutes, some are turning, into all sorts of things just to keep themselves easy. So I like hearing the story of a youth trying to stand up and work for themselves, it inspires me to keep on going. So, what are the future plans? You already told us about the store. This one is done, is dusted. By God's grace, it's in the bag. What is
Yes.
in the future?
All right. Thank you so much for your question. What's in the future for us? Is opening a shop in every province. I'll see to it by God's grace that it happens. And for us to make a difference in someone's life always, by employing more people, I've just realized that what you put in, if you put God first, there's nothing that is going to be impossible. The things that runs in my mind now, they're just so great. They're just so big. So I can see myself employing people. I can see myself making a difference in a community. And also, I believe that a business should be able to give birth to another business. So I believe that as APRONS by Charmaine, we're going to go big and we're going to enlarge into different territories.
Oh, wow. Wow, that is so beautiful. And on that note of future plans, tell me, are you thinking of diversifying into other areas within the clothing space, if I can put it that way? I see now we are mainly rooted in weddings. Um, are we thinking of other things or other areas? I'm just thinking out loud.
I think you're the fifth person now to say it in that manner. And from the fact that when I went to Cape Town to do the courses, the advancing courses for sewing, I actually did t-shirt, pants sewing, and also dressmaking. But then I'm someone who likes focusing so much. So I told myself, I don't want to be disturbed by making dresses for people because I make dresses for myself only. And people always asking me, what I mean, but why are you not making dresses for us? I remember one client was like, but Charmaine, you're supposed to make everything for me. You see, now I have to go there and there, but you are here because I can see that you can make what I want. But I think by God's grace, I'll
Mhm.
eventually divert and go to the other space. Yeah. I just feel like for now, yeah, because it seems scary, but I believe at that very point where you're scared, that is where you're about to
Mm.
give back. The is about to break.
Exactly, because I'm just thinking nowadays there is no celebration without a theme, be it a birthday party, be it a lobola, be it even funerals. People are wearing themes, and I mean, those themes have to be made by someone. So, I mean, that's an area that, as aprons by Charmaine, you can look at. But anyway, that's you to ponder on. There's a
Mhm.
person behind aprons by Charmaine. We're talking business now. Nsovo, Charmaine, Mthombeni. What do you do for fun?
Charmaine can be quite boring. Um, hmm, I don't know. I don't do anything. I'm such a boring person sometimes, but I do go out. I do go out to the mall. Um, I do go out for a massage. Yeah, that is quite Charmaine. Yeah, I do go to markets there and there, but yeah, I never have time. I'm one person who would always say, even if I get an invite from my friends, I think I check first where am I supposed to go and have fun? What am I supposed to go and do? Then I check, is it worth my time or not? Because as someone who's busy like me, I'd have to check, but with that time I'd be done with 5 aprons. That is what I always do. Like, yeah. But then I do have time to relax for myself. I do take myself out for lunch sometimes. I do go out for massage. I love massage a lot. And yeah, but I don't usually do a lot of things because I'm always stuck in
Mhm.
the house. I have to manage the business. But yeah, I still do have a life outside APRONS by Charmaine. I still do have a life.
Okay, because now the space that you're in, I'm just thinking it's really influenced by a lot of trends. Now, surely you can't see trends while behind the machine all the time. You need to go out and see what is out there so that you can and implement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you. I'm a homebody myself, so no worries there. But anyway, the show is African Experience, good people, and you're chatting with me and my beautiful guest, Miss Charmaine Mthombeni, and we are talking Aprons by Charmaine. This is a very inspirational story of a black child who came back from studying civil engineering from the university or tertiary institution, came back, no work, but did not give up, had a godly idea, ran after it, studied more about it, went on to open her own business. Now she had to move from Polokwane to go for greener pastures in Pretoria or Tshwane. Now she's got industrial machines that she's using to meet the needs of her clients, and she has employed 3 permanent staff. So from being unemployed to an employer, so it is possible. Let's rally behind godly ideas of our children. Let's support them and give them the skills that they need to become boss ladies and boss gen out there, just like our beautiful Miss Charmaine Mthombeni. So tell me, what makes you a proud African? If you say I'm a proud African, what does it mean to you?
What makes me a proud African is the fact that we as Africans we're born with resilience. That's the first thing that I'm gonna say. In the face of challenges, we don't allow our humor to disappear. And I believe that as an African, we are fearfully made and we are very respectful, and we know how to make an exciting environment for other people. That is basically how overwhelming it is to be an African for me.
Oh wow, that is so beautiful. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll go on our final 8 break. And then when we come back, we will learn more about running a business, what one can do to start their own business, and we'll have more good times and good stories to share with you with our beautiful guest, Miss Charmaine Mthombeni. So we will go for an ad break and then we'll come back shortly afterwards.
Are you ready for the ultimate dietary powerhouse? Look no further than Masana Dietitian's Nutro Boost. Our scientifically formulated low GI food is designed to give you the boost you need to fuel your body and reach your health goals. With Nutro Boost, you have the flexibility to enjoy it as a high fiber cereal or a satisfying shake. Simply mix it with water and indulge in the mouth-watering flavors that we have to offer. But that's not all. NutriBoost is packed with essential nutrients that are beneficial for your overall well-being. Enriched with 20 immune-boosting vitamins and minerals, it's a convenient and effective way to support your immune system. And here's the best part. NutriBoost is gluten-free, egg-free, and high in omega-3, making it suitable for those with dietary restrictions or allergies. Need an energy boost? NutriBoost has you covered. It's high in energy and protein, providing you with the fuel you need to power through your day. Whether it's a busy morning or an intense workout session, say goodbye to midday slumps and hello to sustained energy with NutriBoost. Try it today and experience the difference. For orders or to become a distributor, contact us on the following details.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. The show is African Experience. The show is African Experience with myself, Mandla AVENTINA Mabunda. And today we are talking to our beautiful guest by the name of Miss Charmaine Mthombeni, the MD and founder of APRONS by Charmaine. She's been telling us about her journey of how she started or how she founded her business and how it is growing by leaps and bounds all through or all by God's grace. So now, Miss Charmaine, we have the last 10 minutes of the show. I want to hear more from you. Tell us, what do you want to tell the youth of South Africa who might be also listening to you and saying, I also want to do this?
Youth. Oh my God. I love the youth so much. I feel like I'm going to talk a lot. Okay. So with the youth, I would say the first thing is know yourself. You should know yourself, find yourself, and know what your goals are, and know what your desires are. And the other thing, you should be focused. Try by all means to focus. So going back to knowing yourself, not everyone is a business woman, or not everyone is going to be a business owner, and not everyone is meant to go to the office. So I believe that when we sit down and search ourselves and know ourselves, there's absolutely no way you won't be able to manage yourself. I'm one person who usually say, I used to like saying I'm not good with people, I'm shy, I can't talk. But then I had to come out of that shell and do something about it. I'm one person who's very bubbly. I'm forever smiling, I'm forever laughing, and I'm very accommodative. But then for someone who wants to do a business and you are very quiet and the other things, it won't be possible. But then if you know yourself and you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, then there's nothing that is going to be impossible for you. So for the other youth, or for people that are say maybe they unemployed youth, unemployed back at home, who's just sitting, not knowing where to start, what to do, waiting for the job, waiting for the government to give them a job, do something about your skills. Everyone has a skill. Everyone has something, which I'd say a passion. Know yourself. If you can bake, if you love baking, why don't you do something about that? But someone would ask me, but then Charmaine, how am I gonna start a business when I don't have money? You can't always wait for funding. What do you do? There's no one who doesn't have money for data nowadays. There's no one who doesn't have money to go and buy either a chocolate or something out there. And I'll go back to what I said, be strict about your finances. For example, I'll give an example with baking. You can start baking with easy mix. We have easy mix nowadays. You just need that packet of flour. You need oil, you're cooking oil, you need water, and you need your stove, which is already at home, and you need a container that you already have at home. So what do you do as a young person who wants something? You know that you don't even want to bake per se as a young person, but then there's something that you say, you know what, I need to do that certain business, but I don't have money. You can't wait for funding, but you can do something about your skill. You can do something about that which you're passionate about. So you start baking, and then from the baking, if you're making 100 Rand a day, and then the costing that you use for the ingredients that you buy, they cost you 45 Rand. And then save the other 45 Rand, and then from there, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of 3 months, you will be having something different from what you had, and from the fact that you were sitting at home waiting for someone to either come back and give you something. So I'd say that youth, please, let's not sit and relax and wait for mommy, daddy, the government to come and do something for us. But then we do have skills, we do have patience, we do have resources in our minds, we do have everything that we can say, you know what, this can be possible. A rightful mindset, there's no way it will give you like negative results. If you put your mind to something and you say, you know what, I really want to do this, then it won't be impossible for you to do so. Like I've said, not everyone is going to be a business owner or business person, but then from that place where you at, find your passion, find your skill, and do something about it. We're most definitely not going to be owners. We're business owners, all of us, because someone will have to come and buy. But if we're all business owners, it means that no one is going to buy from anyone, because everyone's going to be doing business in that manner. We're not all going to sew aprons. We're not all going to be able to bake. We're not all going to be able to do that other business that you see your neighbor doing. But then find your passion and have that quench of thirst to say, you know what, I need to do something. Let's just stand up and do something about what we have. That's what I'm going to say to the youth.
Oh, wow. This is so beautiful. I hope the youth out there is listening that you know what, stand up, identify your godly idea, and then run after it, and just know that there's something that you can do. Now, throughout the show, I've been listening to what you were saying. You are always, and again, I'm just going back to the godly idea. How does one know that what idea they have, godly idea? How did you know that?
For me, I'd say if something is for you, you don't get tired. You can feel it. And first and foremost, when you pray and say, God, show me the way, there's no way. He'll show you the way. If you ask wisdom, if you ask knowledge, if you ask whatever you need from God, there's no way he'll disappoint you. He'll always show you, just like when you're supposed to do something that you're not supposed to. God will always give you that instinct. God will always tell you to know this is not the way. So always humble yourself, ask and seek advice where you can. And then if you're doing something that is definitely yours, if you want to start something that you know that I really like this, I really want to do this, you'll know yourself as well. You won't get tired. You'll do things out of the abundance of your heart. I make my aprons. It's even, I love my aprons more than civil engineering now, by God's grace, unfortunately. I'm more into aprons by Charmaine. I just want to see aprons by Charmaine. I love my civil engineering. It's fine, but it doesn't give me the same smile. It doesn't give me the same butterflies that I get from aprons by Charmaine. Because after each and every apron that I make, I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I made that. Like, I'm even proud of it. So you'll be proud. You'll have time for it. You'll feel it. You'll know it. But pray. God will always tell you this is the one.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to none other than Miss Charmaine Mthombeni, and founder of Aprons by Charmaine. She's teaching us throughout. We've been learning how to identify godly ideas, how to start our ideas, and how to back our ideas up with order, registering a business, making sure that you're equipped or capacitated with skills of how to run a business. For myself, it was very, very cool. And thank you so much, Ms. Charmaine, for joining us on the African Experience. And to us out there, always remember, this is the African show by Africans for Africans. So if you also believe that you have a godly idea that is your African story and you want to share it with us, please get in touch with us. You see at the bottom, our details are always going through. Get in touch with us and tell us what your African story is. Also, we do showcases, adverts throughout the show. If you want your advert or the advert of your godly idea that you're currently running, a business idea, a product that you're selling, also get in touch with us and we will organize that your ads get flighted during our shows. The show again is called The African Experience with myself, Mabunda, and I'm talking to my beautiful host, one Charmaine Mthombeni. So you're always making aprons for weddings, mainly in lobola negotiation. Are we married, my sister? Are we there also with them?
We we're on our way to the final part of it, but we have started. We have started. We're just gonna finish up very soon. Yeah, very soon we'll finish, but we have started. And yeah, I do have my goodly partner that God gave to me. And yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So again, another invite that we are inviting ourselves to. We need to wear an apron. What to this celebration? But anyway, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence on the show. It was a beautiful chat. I enjoyed learning more about aprons by Charmaine, and I'm sure you have inspired one, two, or more of the youth out there to go out there and make things happen for themselves. So we always have this part of the show that we call parting shots. What is your parting shot? Whoever is listening out there, what is the takeaway message that you want them to have?
Okay, I'm gonna say a few points. You don't always have to start big and perfect. Allow room for learning. Be strict financially. Be surrounded by positive and supportive people, one step at a time, and always have a time frame for whatever you do. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. There's nothing I can add there. We are at the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on yet another beautiful show called The African Experience. And thank our executive producers, DJ Mercy and Pastor Strike there at the studio. Thank you for always making sure that we have beautiful shows. And on that note, next week, same place, same time, we'll be talking to yet another African, talking yet another beautiful African story. Do join us. And if you have more interesting ideas that you want us to talk about, please let us know. So thank you. And on that note, I will close by saying there is now one who is proud of you, Miss Charmaine. They're saying we are proud of you, my girl. You are a role model for the young ones, and we also agree with that. So on that note, stay blessed, and let's meet again next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Streaming 24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.